the Democratic Party and what it was customarily associated with, normally associated with, Donald Trump told us exactly what the hell he was going to do. And that not only did the vast majority of the American people still saw him closer to normalcy than we saw the Democratic Party, but because of that, regardless of his ways, Donald Trump is actually trusted more than y'all. He didn't hint towards misogyny for black men that could possibly vote against Kamala Harris. He didn't do that. He wasn't somebody that was scared to do interviews half the time and was at the mercy of people.
Yes, Smith is not holding back. He went on a rant, called out the Democrat Party. It didn't end there. Barack Obama, I don't know if this was a town hall or what exactly. He went on a rant about Trump, calling Trump out. If I was the one doing this, that. I saw a lot of things in this video. It is important. I show you what he said. If you draw back to 2018, when you take a look at this, Barack Obama demanded fair trade in 2018. Yeah, it is also proper for advanced economies like the United States to insist on reciprocity from nations like China. Where was the outreach from Democrat and the mainstream media at that time? He called for fair trade, and I believe what Trump is doing is exactly this. I have seen clips surfacing with Nancy Pelosi doing the same thing. Democrats did not say anything that time. Now they are outraged that Trump is doing that.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for? We take for granted the idea that we don't have to pay bribes or hire somebody's cousin in order to get a business permit. That's how we built the economy we did. That's why this place worked. And it has very concrete impacts on all of our lives. So, this is the first time I've been speaking publicly for a while. I've been watching a little bit. Yeah. Let me just close this portion of my remarks by saying it is up to all of us to fix this. It's not going to be because somebody comes and saves you. The most important office in this democracy is the citizen, the ordinary person who says, no, that's not right. I do think one of the reasons that our commitment to democratic ideals has eroded is that we got pretty comfortable and complacent. You know, it has been easy during most of our lifetimes to say you are progressive, or say you are for social justice, or say you're for free speech, and not have to pay a price for it. And now we're at one of those moments where, you know what, it's not enough just to say you're for something. You may actually have to do something and possibly sacrifice a little bit. So, yeah, if you're a law firm being threatened, you might have to say, okay, we will lose some business because we're going to stand for a principle. If you are a university, you may have to say, figure out, are we in fact doing things right? Have we in fact violated our own values, our own code, violated the law in some fashion? If not, and you're just being intimidated, well, you should be able to say, well, that's why we got this big endowment.
Former President Barack Obama is sharply criticizing President Trump's economic policies and calling the Trump administration's moves targeting President Trump's political opponents unimaginable. President Obama also has a message for his fellow Democrats saying, and I'm quoting him now, "We're in one of those moments when you know what? It's not enough just to say you're for something. You may actually have to do something and possibly sacrifice a little bit," close quote. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is also weighing in, saying President Trump's actions have been largely predictable. Listen.
I bet you there are a lot of people that voted for Trump that wish the Kamala Harris was in the White House. Didn't vote.
Don't even get me started on how disgraced must these law firms feel now.
If you listen to this video from Barack Obama, you will clearly see what he's advocating for. He actually wants people to go out there and demonstrate. That is according to my understanding on that video. Like, you should be ready to lose something, to stand up against what is going on. That is what Barack Obama is advocating. When I look at his criticisms about Trump's economy struggling to still take credit to his ways, it is something that I understand. At this point, the Democrats are confused. They don't know what exactly to do. If you look at Barack Obama, it is like the guy is lost. When I watched a video the other day, a question surfaced to Trump like, we are seeing you talking about running again in 2028. Trump said there were bridges that they can still cross, but he's not thinking about that right now. Democrats stood up like, if Trump wants to run, they should bring back Obama. That is what I saw. If they put these two people together right now, I'm telling you the truth, it will be extremely difficult for Obama to beat Trump. The way I'm seeing it. I mean, extremely difficult. The Obama you thought had that charisma and power before is no longer, because during this elections period, Trump and Kamala Harris, Obama did the campaign more than even the Harris herself. But people didn't change their mind because they understand, they know who exactly he is they can easily just switch, change their mind. That's to tell you, if Obama is still running, people already know him that much. Trump will beat him. That is just according to my imagination.
The answer to their absence now of Joe Rogan in their party does not appear to be Michelle Obama.
That's another sort of unusual aspect to our lives, our relationship, was this whole, being married to the president of the United States.
Like, what? I convinced you to not penalize him for being really good.
Even knowing that there are divorce rumors and, she's not showing up for him, whether it's at the Jimmy Carter funeral or the Trump inauguration or the basketball game he just went to in LA, when visiting their daughters and then dinner with the daughters was not there. Here she is talking about it. If it were me, I would say something nice about him. I would say, like, he's just so charming. It was meant to be. I knew he could heal the earth in the way he did. There was only one person who could do it, and it was my husband, Barack Obama, whatever. Then she gets on to talking a little bit about him personally, and this is how that sounded.
When a girlfriend comes to visit, it's usually like, you got to stay for 2 days.
More fuel on the fire.
Cooked meal helped Trump and Mark.